Good morning.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Ashley Hodak-Sullivan with the National Association of College and University Attorneys.
I'm Liz Poyster. I'm with the Electrical Apparatus Service Association.
I'm Kevin Horton, vendor scum.
And we are reporting to you live from the Membership Marketing and Communications Conference here in DC with ASAE. So we're just kicking off day 2, and we just had a delightful / terrifying / informative keynote on data.
Stalker how to.
What was the date? Oh God, it's gone now.
What the name of her
the
keynote?
session.
Was it just terrifying?
It was
Yeah,
about
terrifying.
the dark
Basically,
side
it's
of
on
data
data.
collection on
Yeah,
people, yes.
Thank you. Data and artificial intelligence. So let's just give some observation on some things we learned, guys.
Even if, well, obviously you guys are all on Facebook because you're watching this, but if you weren't on Facebook, even if you're not, you are. Facebook is collecting data on everybody in the world. Even if they're not actually on the platform, they know everybody and they are using and selling that data, which is really, really something else.
Yeah.
And they can learn a lot about your likes. They can actually predict like your own ethnicity. They can figure out who friends of friends are. Even activating, apps will go ahead and activate your phone so they can listen in. So when serendipitous things happen, like you're talking about bleach or you're talking about laundry, you're talking about going to Cancun, ads show up when you haven't even done anything other than just talk because your phone's listening in and they're transferring that data into models where they can then find advertisers to reach you. So it's a brave new world.
It's absolutely terrifying. We also learned about a story most folks know about, but the Target
baby.
pregnancy story. And basically, long story short, Target likes to keep a pregnancy score on all the ladies that shop there. So it knows when you're going to have a kid, how pregnant you are. And interestingly enough, if you ever go to Target and buy lotion, an extra colorful rug, and a large bag, you might be pregnant. Why? They don't know.
But it doesn't
it's
matter.
Still terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little scary.
That was the other takeaway I caught was she said that a lot of times this data doesn't make logical sense, but that's okay. It doesn't have to make sense.
True. And they're getting better
There's a
every
moral
day.
for us, is there not? I
And
mean,
what is
because
that?
we have data, we just, we could make better use of it. We don't need to tell you that you're pregnant, but we should actually be able to figure out who would like each other. I mean, associations are kind of like big social networks, right?
Absolutely.
Shouldn't we be trying to help facilitate? I mean, she presented the dark side, but I feel like there's a brighter side of that vision too that probably
No doubt.
wouldn't cost as much either. Yeah, so,
Right.
yeah.
Well, and I was actually sitting in a couple sessions yesterday, and they were talking about the personalized member experience in terms of predictive data based on how our members engage with our associations. And obviously, it doesn't go this deep down the rabbit hole, but I do think it's important for us to kind of keep in mind going forward about tools that may become available to us to kind of enhance the member experience and make it more personalized.
If you've got like 30,000 members and you've got like 3 doppelgangers or soulmates across the country that you've never met, it does seem to me that sometimes that's what people look for in their dues. I mean, when they go to a conference, they're hoping to make 1 or 2 connections with people that they heretofore didn't know, and then they come back and they can stay in touch. And I really feel like sometimes we do get freaked out by this, but Facebook is as large as a foreign government, basically, has those resources. We have far fewer resources, and as long as people don't really know like the dark side of this, I think we actually do have data we can leverage. I know I keep sounding really positive like me.
I know, and that's actually a really good spin on it, and I think it could play a very large role in how we just plan our programming going forward, even looking at something like a mentor-mentee program and matching and things. They just don't know what they don't know. So I think that was pretty exciting.
Right.
One other highlight for me yesterday was actually the content marketing session.
Oh, she was
It
great.
was fantastic.
Angela.
Yes.
Kalamazoo of all places.
Phenomenal.
It was a great
Yeah.
session.
No, and it really talked a lot about how we already have the content, and it's just a matter of making it available on a platform that our members can access. And I mean, that was definitely something I plan to take back to my team and go, all right, this is everything that we have. How are we going to use it and consolidate it?
Right.
For example, we just created a new digest we're calling it our resource roundup, and basically what we do is we take all of our resources around a specific topic and we link them in an email, and we just send it out once a month. And so I work for college and university attorneys, and a big hot topic right now is animals on campus. And so we put together an email that showed our publications, our session recordings. Nice, well done. And basically anything that we had available around that, and we're going to be going forward doing that on a monthly basis. But I thought this was just another good example of how we can utilize what we already are creating.
Yeah.
I thought when she was talking about content you already have, she talked about just looking at your frequently asked questions.
Oh,
What
that
are
was
your
a really
members
good point.
coming to you
Yep.
Really good
asking?
point.
And you have to, and I think, like, as marketers, we end up kind of thinking we know what, we know everything that we should know. But when you reach out and start talking to your other departments and you say, what questions are you sick of answering? I thought that was a really funny way that she put it. And so what they did is they took a bunch of their FAQs about their big member database, and they said, or their MLS database, and they just put together a bunch of resources around the top 10 questions that they get asked all the time. And it was an easy win for them. She said, it didn't take them a whole lot of time to put it together. It was extraordinarily valuable, and is stuff that they can repurpose year after year after year, because they know when their members are going to be asking those questions, so they can get out in front of it. That was my big takeaway.
The FAQ is a good flip to. I was also in using your website to increase member engagement session yesterday, and that was very interesting because his whole philosophy was he didn't believe in an FAQ page because as far as he's concerned, you should be able to address your FAQs on your homepage and make it clear as soon as that member gets there to help guide their behaviors, whether you're making a page that is supposed to be for recruitment or retention. And so there were some really juicy tidbits there, even going page by page and figuring out the action, figuring out the audience, and then making sure that it's serving that purpose. I think that was really helpful to
I
take
really
back.
liked his matrix too. He had a really cool matrix of, like,
It
what
was
is this
great.
page, who is its audience, what is its goal, and what is its call to action.
It was incredibly helpful.
For our group, for our association right now, we're going through a website redesign process, so that I think that we're well positioned to kind of go through that exercise with at least our most popular hit pages, just to make sure that they are tight and ready to go, so that we can serve our members and our prospective members better.
Fantastic.
You know what is kind of fascinating to me is because, one, I'm obviously really old, and I think back to, like our websites, we've all had them for 20 or 25 years, And when I was listening to Homie yesterday talking about branding too, we've had like a lot of these branding principles in place for a long time. It's almost like we forget what we know, right? It's sort of like we go through cycles where, yes, one, we have to refresh what we have in the first place, but a lot of the principles that are being shared are a good 20, 25 years old. It's almost like there's a sub-discipline of association and marketing together that you only get in a place like this.
Sure.
And hopefully you pick it up in the hallway in addition to the sessions and things. But that was one thing that struck me is all Back to the Future. Everything I heard yesterday.
And it's so much. I mean, we wear so many hats in what we do, and what's great about this particular conference is, at least for me, I literally have membership and marketing in my title. But even in a daily basis, I'm touching everything, and if I'm not marketing right, I'm not doing my membership right, I'm not communicating correctly. It kind of connects all those dots, and so you're right. It's a really nice kind of reset and refresh to think of things just a little bit differently. So,
Absolutely.
does anyone else have anything to add right now?
I don't know if anybody's an ESPN fan, but you ever see that one talk show where there's like the old Hispanic guy that sits in the middle and he's just a smart aleck all the time? And I feel like that dude, as I see myself. It's just weird. I keep having this flashback. I expect to see little writings in, like they have on the show.
Well, we're getting ready to go into session for our breakouts, but maybe we'll try to sit down later today and talk about some more observations.
Sure.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.